California Republican Kevin McCarthy is the House Majority Whip, and he joins me now. Sir, welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Congressman. So, you know, the president's saying as far as the telephone calls parts of this goes, the data mining that we've heard about, everybody in Congress was briefed on that. Were you briefed on that?
No, that's why Congress has requested. Now, today we're going to have a staffing briefing.
So you did not know about the larger data mining, United States collection of data?
No. And I would, we have our Intel committee that gets briefed, but the full Congress does not. And that's why we have requested to be briefed tomorrow. We're going to have a number of individuals coming down from NSA, Attorney General's office, FBI, to walk through the entire Congress members what is going on. And there's a role for Congress here, that we need to have these checks and balances. We want to protect our civil liberties. We want to protect our nation from a terrorist attack. But there is a fine line here that we need to have greater accountability and greater transparency. And I think there's going to be a lot of questions asked of where we go forward and how we move forward.
Do you think that our government should be doing this?
I have a real problem with this. I want to have a lot of questions answered, but I have a real concern from a protection of civil liberties, just for myself personally. I know we're just coming off the Boston bombing. I want to protect our nation at the same time. So where is that fine line? I think transparency and accountability can get us to that point. But the more that I hear about this, I think there's got to be a greater trust here. And the only way you build a trust is to have that transparency and accountability.
You look at Edward Snowden, this 29-year-old self-professed whistleblower, leaker. And that's one of the big questions. Which one is he? Do you see him as a whistleblower? He says, I think the American people deserve to know that their government is collecting all of this information. Or is he a leaker, as Mike Rogers, your colleague, says, who needs to be prosecuted? And we have heard that the White House is beginning that process now.
I would prosecute him. If you're a whistleblower, you don't leave the United States. You don't go to a communist country. If you have grave concern, and some of the questions came out, I have grave concerns, then come before Congress. Be a whistleblower is putting the information out, not running from the country. And I've got real concerns. One, of what he did he put America in any jeopardy from our intel gathering? But more importantly, don't leave our country. If you have concerns, that's the greatness about our country. We can correct. We're not afraid. And a true whistleblower, why didn't he just come before Congress? He could have came before me, brought the information.
You know, one of the things that we've been looking at, if this program worked, it should have caught these guys in Boston. If you're tracking overseas information, you know, that you've got YouTube, you've got text messages, you've got cell phone calls. It sounds to me like it was precisely designed to catch somebody like these guys. So it's an embarrassment, you could say, that they were not able to catch them when they're doing this extraordinary amount of data mining. Isn't that exactly the kind of instance that it was designed to prevent?
That's what we're trying to prevent. But also, remember, we're putting the safeguards in for civil liberty, that you'd have to go before the court to be able to get that. So are those protections, are we having enough protections in there?
But wouldn't if you go to the court and say, Russia told us about this guy, we're a little bit concerned, we're tracking their internet activity, I think most courts would say, absolutely. You know, if Russia has alerted our country that they might be a security threat, this is absolutely the kind of thing that we want to be doing here.
But see, those are the questions we have to ask. We don't know if it went there. We don't know if the safeguard checked beforehand. We don't know if it's all there. But this is exactly what we're trying to protect. We're trying to protect our nation from another terrorist attack, but at the same time, protect our civil liberties, that we don't have government watching all your phone calls.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy, thank you. You guys have a lot of questions, and we look forward to some of the answers that you hopefully will get. Thanks for being here.
We look forward to getting the answers as well.
Good to have you here as always.
Thanks
we'll see you soon.